Nothing there. Okay, we have really limited time. Oh, a backpack. Oh, what the hell? Boys, shouldn't be in here. It's not your house. Rapidly moving. Wondering what we've got ourselves into here. Nothing there. Right, down. Down. Okay, Matt, come on. Can I save the game? Oh, shit! Oh, Jesus Christ, that gave me a fright. You pieces of crap. Three of them? What the fuck? You can't, you've got to be shitting me! No frigging way! Welcome everyone, Matty Mojo here, and today we are going to look at The Last Farewell, an early access game released into Steam on October 2020. The first things we need to look at in regards to The Last Farewell is that this is a game that the creative director is a well-known YouTuber by the name of Bikini Bodhi. Now, I don't know too much about the guy, but during the course of doing this, I've had a look at some of his videos, and I'll be honest, he seems like a pretty decent guy. So I wish him and his development team all the best. I truly mean that. But let's look at the game and what it is right now. Yes, we have Bikini Bodhi. He is the creative director. He's obviously probably the funder and the driving force behind this game. He has a small development team of just a few people. Now, the price point for this game, New Zealand $30, US 21, Euro $17.60, or Aussie $28.50. That's what you have to pay for the game right now. I always like to start these videos off by looking at what people have actually said about the game themselves. When it comes to games, when it comes to anything marketing or anything that you're putting out into the public, I cannot emphasize this enough. Words count. What people say counts for everything. These can often be, I guess you would call, creative marketing statements. It could be mission statements. These are the things that they're telling the community that the game is going to be, and this is what they're aiming for. Keeping that in mind, I'm going to jump back to what Bikini Bodhi said when he first put out his August 2020, so that's a while back, his launch video for the game. He has described this as a survivor royale. It is a focus on surviving together and the last person alive wins. But you can backstab other players. During the day you will scavenge, and at night you will protect the base, which is the town hall, against puppets, which are the zombies in this game. But the zombies, that is the puppets, are not the only enemies. Other players are also enemies. He was keen to keep this as a social game with fantastic replayability. That's what he said in August 2020 in his release launch video on his YouTube channel. In October, obviously the game went up onto Steam itself, and they've said this about the game. Last Farewell is a survival co-op game where you are tasked to work together with others or solo in order to ensure your own survival for as long as possible. Gather supplies and craft during the day in order to protect yourself and the sanctuary, the town hall, during the night. So the first thing I note there is what he said back in August doesn't match this release statement. Now, I'm bearing in mind that in August he was just talking to a video like I'm doing now, and things can get said where they shouldn't be said. But I do pick up on a key point here, because the thing that I liked about what he said in August was you can backstab other players. To me, that was pretty intriguing about how the hell they were going to do that in a game. But I note that the game release on Steam has no mention of that. It's making for a interesting start to this quick review, let's put it that way. It is super important. I want you to remember this point. When you put games out into the public, they are out for review. They are out for criticism. It's no longer hidden in a development studio. It is subject to scrutiny. And you cannot get away with substandard work by just putting an early access phrasing over it saying, hey, it's early access, there's going to be bugs, you're going to have to work with us. When you put games out into early access, there are really only two main reasons for it. One is you want to bring the community along. You maybe haven't got a big testing team. You want to put the game out there and get the feedback from the community, and that becomes your testing cycle. Now, I used to be a software tester, so I know a fair bit about this. The next reason is you need money. A lot of games, when they put things out into early access, just need a cash injection. And they use early access to get people into it, get some money into the coffers. Well, let's be honest about it, that's the number one reason. But there is always a huge risk with early access games. There is a line that the developers need to be very conscious of, but frequently over the years that I've been playing games, I've seen so often development teams themselves don't know where the proper line sits. And when I mean the line, what I'm talking about there is you should never put a game out too early. When you put a game out too early, you're really asking for a lot of problems. You're asking for problems from your very own community, because they will become very deeply unsatisfied. It does not take long. And secondly, you are open to criticism. And with criticism, of course, comes negative reviews. And with that, you have the potential for rapidly falling sales. So putting a game out too early is extremely risky. Let's cut to the crux of the matter here, and that is quite simply, what do I think of the game? Well, this has been a dilemma for me, and I'm not going to lie about that, because most games I will say I need to give a game 40 hours. I will call it a solid working week. That is fair. A solid working week of playing a game, and then you've got a pretty good feel as to what it's like. And then maybe you can do a bit of a review, give people a bit of a informed opinion. So the dilemma here for me is this. I can't stomach playing this game anymore. Now that's really harsh, and I am sorry to the development team for saying that. But I have noticed that a lot of the Steam reviews, even those positive ones, the vast majority of them have only played the game for a few hours. And yeah, now I see why. Certainly from a solo point of view, impossibly hard. And I don't really see anything in it that really makes it stick out from the crowd yet. Where I spawn in, I have to run around extremely rapidly, grab some loot, run back to my base, try and fortify the walls to stop the puppets coming in the night, and that's it. The only social co-op factor is if you have other people on your team, you have to work very rapidly together to try and achieve that objective. Where this is odd is that the game has this timer system. It has a very, very fast day cycle, and the night cycle is even quicker. I think the night is over in 1 minute. What you're seeing here is a game that is sequenced into a set of rounds. It is literally a survival royale. Round 1, can you survive? Round 2, can you survive? Round 3, can you survive? This is the way the game plays out, and the rounds are really fast. But it's not a first-person shooter, it's a survival game. And they've tried to maybe mix these together, and I think that is admirable, but good God, I'm telling you right now, it doesn't work. The intricacies of the game, the buildings themselves, they are like a jigsaw puzzle. They obviously only have so many buildings that they've developed and created so far, and all they do in the procedurally generated map is shuffle them all around, because it will take you just a few minutes to realize, oh, I've been in this building before, I know exactly everything to search. That's okay when you've played your first few games, but that's not okay when you're wanting to play 5, 6, 7, 8 games, if everything's exactly the same all the time. The puppets themselves, well, the animations are okay, the graphics are okay. They're running this on an Unreal Engine, and I'm going to assume it's Unreal Engine 4. I'm going to assume that. They don't say that anywhere. But when you compare it to a lot of other games on the Unreal Engine 4, yeah, look, I know they're going for a cartoony feel, but it really just doesn't cut it, to be honest. They may get there, but at this particular point in time, it just doesn't seem to make the standard from my point of view. The fog effect, which is extreme in this game, it's so foggy all the time. I have a gut feeling that it's used to mask the sameness of everything. If you fog everything out, it gives you a feeling of, you're a bit lost, I can't see things. But I also get the feeling it just masks that everything, it looks pretty similar. You can't interact with a lot of things, that's another issue, and the crafting is basic. You are left to your own devices, the guides are simplistic, there is many faults. And it is bloody impossible to survive in this game by yourself after 2 nights. I mean, maybe if I played it for hundreds of hours, I might be able to do that. So when you have a game that is so focused on fast-paced rounds, and these rounds are extremely hard to survive in those 2nd, 3rd, 4th waves, you have to repeat everything over and over and over again. And when I talk about sameness and it's pretty dull, I really mean that. It's just the same stuff over and over really rapidly. I don't want to be a downer on the game because it is early access, and I do understand that it's a small development team. But I'd like to compare this to a video review I did recently on Night of the Dead. Night of the Dead is a zombie game. These are the types of things I like. It uses an Unreal Engine, probably Unreal Engine 4. It has a small development team of just a couple of people. I'll put a link up here and you can have a look for yourself the difference between these games. Obviously graphically one is extremely superior to the other. This one has a very different look, The Last Farewell. I appreciate that. The difference between the two is one of them I go, I'm going to return to this game in a few months' time. I'm not going to uninstall it because I'm excited to see where it goes. I can see the potential in it. That's the key thing about an early access game. They put it out in a format where it's very playable, it's a lot of fun, it's enjoyable by yourself or with others, and you can see the potential for it in the months ahead, and you're excited to come back to it. That is what early access is about. Early access is not about putting out a game that is frustrating to play and you're banking on the patience of people to put up with a subpar game and come back in a few months' time. So the key difference here between these two games is this game here, The Last Farewell, I can't see myself coming back to it. It will be a bloody miracle once I finish this review that I will come back to this game. Now I wish them all the best, I truly do. I like small developers and full credit to them, and Bikini Bodhi seems like a lovely guy, but the bottom line is, I had to pay 30 New Zealand dollars for that, and you're asking me to pay money for this. That's fine, I know it's early access, but guys, you should have waited a little bit before you put this game out. Now I hope you found this video review useful. I've tried to keep it relatively short. It's been a little bit ranty, but yeah, if you want to support the early access games, go for it. All I'm saying here is if you like Bikini Bodhi, you like this type of game, maybe just give it a bit of time before you buy it, because really it isn't worth it at the moment. It should probably be quite significantly reduced in price for what it is. Thanks for watching. If you like zombies, post-apocalyptic stuff, then hit that big button in the middle, subscribe to me, that would be brilliant. 2 other videos on the screen there, check those out, you may like them. Stay safe, it's a crazy world out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that juicy stuff, and I'll see you in the next chapter.